I's the only one that's live. Uh-oh, look like we live. Hey, we got to be something. I just ain't got the new notification.
I ain't got to.
Let me see. It say tap to retry. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how this is working. Pow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It said we got a good streaming going. We streaming greatly. So that's my brother's birthday. Where's the new YouTube notification? But I see you sitting down, Mama Quita, so I guess it's... So let me do it like this. We back on point. Let me see. We back. We back. Now, I'm gonna be nasty. Now I'm gonna tag folks.
I'm gonna need you now.
Hey, I'm tagging folks. I'm sorry. Welcome back to the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. I need for y'all to come on in and stop it. Look, these folks is spoiled. You know how I've noticed that? Because if you notice, Big Juice and Miss Harris and Miss Josie and Miss Margot, they come in. Right?
You can't forget Miss Graham.
And Miss Graham and Miss Gina. Oh, matter of fact, and Miss Precious. And them gonna probably just be the only folks I tag. Listen, I was told 12. Get a solid 12. What you think about that, Quita? A solid 12. A
solid 12?
Mm-hmm. A solid 12 that's gonna follow you. Oh, and I got to say what's up to Low Daddy, because Low Daddy do come in when he can.
Low Daddy come in.
Miss Page come in when she can. I think a lot of people's having the most issue of actually either getting the notifications or is streaming properly when we come on. So right now we're streaming properly, and oh, and Miss Curry wants to come on the show. I've been meaning to tell you about that. It's a lady that came on the show before. She owns she owns a boutique out here in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And so she owns a boutique out here in the ATL out in Buckhead, and it's pretty dope.
Okay.
So, and it's a nice size space. If you're trying to host something, I just happened to just now see her message because I was signed in on the other side of Facebook. Right. So I'm sorry if I don't get y'all messages on one side because I be logged into another, and yeah, it be kind of crazy. So, for those that are coming back, I like to welcome y'all back. Welcome back to Ratchet but Righteous Tuesdays. We're gonna get this thing together. It's to where it's gonna run the way it's supposed to, even if that means I have to go in and restructure everything. It said the current keyframe frequency is 10.4 seconds. Note that indigestion errors can cause incorrect GOP, group or picture sizing. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Such viewers would receive buffering. But right key factors, and I changed it to what y'all told me to yesterday. I'm sorry, Mama Queen.
You're fine.
So we're gonna try to keep this thing moving the best way we can. And so I was, before we got cut off, we were into Miss Portia Kirkland words of wisdom. So,
Yeah.
and I guess this kind of take place where we are right now. It said God will give you the vision. You then must make it plain. While it may not look like things are happening, they are. God is excited about you changing the world and will send you the resources to be a blessing. Even your enemies will open doors. Your job is to have faith and believe and never give up despite what things look like. What you think about that, Mama Quita?
Absolutely correct. That's all God expects for you to have.
Uh-oh.
Despite what it looked like. He says,
I did something wrong. There we go. My bad.
uh-oh. What's
I
wrong?
started, ladies and gentlemen.
He he's very clear on his word. And his word says to trust him in all things. So that's the good, the bad, the ugly, all things.
All
He
things.
said, lean not unto thine own understanding. So even when you don't understand, and just because things look a certain way from the physical side, guess what? You can't see what he doing in the background. And I'm a true testimony of that. One day, I'm going to sit down and give y'all a complete testimony of my life, at least just from the last 6 months. This is just the last 6 months.
Just the last 6 months.
But I can't give it to you until I'm all the way through. Right. You don't talk about what you're going through until you made it on the other side. And I am going to talk about some feelings, but because some people need to hear some things. But when I tell you, it's not always what you see, it's what you believe, is where your faith is, because your faith and your reactions dictate what God is allowed to do in your life. So she hit the nail on the head. A lot of times we go through things and he's looking at your reaction. Are you going to trust him? Do you really trust him? And do you trust him with every part of your life? Not just my house, not just my job, not just my relationship, but
Right.
can I trust you with my relationship, my job, my finances, my life, like my life in total? Can I really say that I stand in faith for every part of my life? And I'm going to tell y'all, God been dealing with me because I haven't. I have not. When it comes down to my relationships and my finances, I have to admit, I have been scared to give that over to him completely. But that's what he wants. He wants all of you, not some of you.
So let me ask this: uh, do you think we as people, human beings, and this goes for everybody, do you think we limit what we give God?
Oh yes,
And then
we do.
we put a cap on it.
We do. That's that's the hard part. We limit him. We put a cap on. We put God in a box. God is not a box God. we keep him from doing a lot of things because of our own limitations that we've set not only on him but also on ourselves.
Right. Hmm.
So we give him, I'm gonna say we give him a sky limit when he's a universe limit, or he has no limit.
No limit.
Right. No limit soldier. That's who he is. Literally. Because everybody want to say he just, this walkover, pushover. No, he a no limit soldier. He's a soldier, boo.
Let me, since you mentioned that, I saw something on YouTube the other day, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
guy who said that he grew up in the church, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's an atheist. Welcome back, Big
Yeah.
Juice.
It's a lot of them. Mm-hmm.
So he said what he was trying to understand was, he said God said thou shalt not kill, but then he told, I think he said David to go wipe out a specific people, and not only wipe out the men, the women, the children, the cows, the donkeys, the chickens, everything that
Mm-hmm.
they touched, everything that they own, burn down
He
all the
took everything.
houses,
Yep,
everything. Listen,
he did.
the roaches, the cockroaches, the spiders, the spider webs, the grasshoppers, the everything that's in this vicinity, I want gone.
Gone.
And he said he was trying to understand how God said thou shalt not kill, and God is supposed to be a loving God. He didn't understand how God could do this, you know, send somebody to go wipe out men, women, and children. And then he was
Because
like, Jesus said that he said then he believed that God was a separation type God, and because Jesus said he didn't come in peace, but he came with a sword to divide and pin the women and, against the children, and the men against their sons, and this, that, and the third. Ooh, ooh. So how can this be a loving God if he's willing to divide, and if he's willing to wipe out women and children and all the living things in that area? How can he be a loving? So it was confusing to him, and so he left the
because
church.
he didn't read see, this is the part that gets me. Everybody want to take the parts. Well, first off, let's say this. Nobody wants to read and do the research themselves. That's the first issue.
Right.
Nobody wants to read and get an understanding themselves. That's definitely the first issue. Secondly, oh well, I guess that would be 1A. 1B is they just want to take those few verses that they get every Sunday and run with it. You can't do that. So number two would be if you got in your word and you read from the Old Testament of who God is, God clearly defines who he is. All characteristics are there. And you would understand that he's a God of war just like he is a God of love. God hates sin. God hates evil. And he said that his people is who he's after. He didn't say he was for everybody. That's why he said the road is narrow. Everybody not gonna make it on this. And if you are a child of the enemy, then you are an enemy of God. So wiping you out is no problem. Like it's simple. But because everybody wants to take God just as love, and he is. God loves his people. God is the Father. He is the Son, and he is the Holy Ghost. He is grace and mercy embodied, but he also gives you rules and standards and directions that you have to follow to get that grace.
Glad you mentioned that because he said the same thing. There's all these rules and regulations, and I was watching something else right before it, and the minister that I was watching, he was saying that with Satan there is no rules, and it's like
Mm,
God giving you all these rules. You gotta boo 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 boo, and then I used to watch the TV show Lucifer because I wanted
mhm,
to see how they was going to paint him,
mhm,
and they painted him exactly how I thought they were.
mhm,
This angel of light
mhm.
that says that God gives you all these rules, and he just like daddy likes to play games. But what I did respect about the show was he still referred to God as his father.
He did.
He still referred to God as his father
And if you understand in the Bible, the devil refers to God as his father.
because he
He
know who
still has to respect
he
him
still
as his creator.
right.
He still has to. He may not like it,
And that's the
but
thing,
he ain't gonna step outside of it.
right? And that's the number one thing that I've learned. He doesn't like the rules.
And whether we realize it or even admit it, even the enemy has rules.
Right.
Think about it. Because if you try to do anything concerning God, I don't know if you've ever heard of the guy. He used to be an atheist. He used to be a warlock. What is his name? Guerrero, I believe. He's a Latino. He was born in New York, and he was a high priest warlock. And when he decided to swap over and follow God, because he made that choice, God allowed the devil to take his eyesight. Or I believe it was like a year or 2 years, something like that. So the enemy definitely has rules. And when you go against him, there are consequences, and God allows those consequences because the same way the we have what's that what goes around comes around,
Right.
but the Bible says you reap what you sow.
Right.
You can't be mad. The choices that we make.
Right. And the atheist guy who I was watching, he was saying that his life has been more free since he believes in what they call it uh, humanism, humanitarianism, or humanism, where he doesn't look at black and white. He doesn't look at nappy hair, straight hair, whatever it is. We're human. So the question was asked, like, so how you know not to kill or, flick pain? He was like, well, I'm a human. You know what I? It's that the way he's taught, he steps back and he looks at both sides. So it's like, he said, take rape for example. It's like, would he want to be a rapist? Would he want to be raped? Well, he definitely doesn't want to be raped, and he definitely doesn't want to be labeled as a rapist. So they consider that to be wrong. Like that's how they analyze it. They step back and they say they're supposed to put themselves in the shoes of both parties. So like you can put yourself in the shoes to say, would I rape a woman or would I not rape a woman? And then put yourself in a woman or man's shoes who's being raped and be like, do I want to be raped? Should I be raped? Why should I be raped? Or boo, whatever, whatever. And then you can step back and say, oh, okay, well, I don't want neither one of those, so that has to be wrong.
And that's their way of, what's the word I'm looking for? That's their way of justifying their choices.
Could be. Hey, I'm just saying, you know.
I'm just saying too.
Listen, listen
I'm
to the
I'm just saying.
songs in my heart.
And it makes sense if you're looking at it from a physical point of view, of course.
Well,
That's the
well, wait a minute, because I was gonna ask the question. What if you take somebody who says, "Hey, see nothing wrong, goddamn snatching her ass up and taking it"? Then what?
the question. Because that
Because if I gotta stand back and look at both sides, okay, do I want to be raped? Shit, probably depend. Cause you, like I said, let's talk about a certain individual. Could it be anybody? So let's take somebody who they trying to bring in, and he might be like, shit, is she the rapist though? Because if she's the rapist and she's getting on top, hey, I might just go ahead and let her tie me on up. Then you might have him look at the other side, and he might not think nothing wrong with going to snatch somebody up off the street and taking the cookie. Because rape has nothing to do with the sexual act. It's all about the violent intent that goes into it. It's about the fighting and the struggle and the screaming and the kicking during the
the
sexual act.
control.
It's about having
The
control
control.
over the victim. Sex is just happen to be the weapon of choice. But to hear you kick, scream, holler, and you can't go nowhere, you can't move, you can't fight,
The
that's
domination.
that's what gets them off. Because guess what? You got pornos out here where women participate in fake rape scenes,
You're right.
and both parties get off on, oh, okay.
You're absolutely correct.
I'm just saying. So, how does the logic? So in my mind, I'm trying to think, how does this logic work? That doesn't, because a rapist may feel like, I don't see nothing wrong with snatching a woman off the street. So are you gonna tell him that he's wrong because he doesn't see it the way you see it? But you said let him step back and pick and look at both sides. Would he like to be raped? He might not have a problem with being raped. And he might
You're
not have a problem with being the raper. So if
you're absolutely correct.
he don't have a problem being raped, he don't have a problem being the raper, then what you do in that situation? Is he wrong? This is something to think about. Is he wrong? School slavery sale has parents in the uproar. What just popped up on my phone? School slavery sales has parents in an uproar. I don't even want to know what that's about. Listen, Mama Queen, Mama Queen, Mama Queen put us on mute real quick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to look down at my phone and see that. And I just happened.
I'm sorry, my baby school just called me. I got a sick child at school. We're gonna figure out how to pick her up.
We're gonna go pick her up,
Wait
Mama.
a minute. How that happen?
I don't know, Mama Queen.
either. The phone ain't acting. I guess this what happens when the phone starts to act crazy.
Wait, I got about 2 minutes. Listen.
There we go. Maybe. There we go.
School slavery sale. Listen, black folk. Listen to me now. I keep saying this to y'all. Black folk. The devil is busy, black folk. Okay?
Absolutely.
And the number one thing he keep trying to do in America, if you ain't seen it in the last, how long Obama was in office? 8 years.
8 years.
And how long Trump going on for? Okay, listen. In the last 8 years, okay, social media has been trying to incite a race war. They ain't figured out how to take the economy down under Trump because they can't, because it goes against all his policies. Every policy he's putting into play will not cause the economy to crash. So they can't crash the economy to make chaos.
Okay. Not yet. They're working on it.
Oh, I ain't saying his name coming. And when it do come, it's gonna be around 2023, right before he get out of office. This is so they can create the chaos, so they can continue to set the stage. But what they doing right now is they pushing the narrative, and it's coming down to a race war. Listen to me, my good African Americans and my good white Americans. First off, let me just tell you a quick little truth, real quick. White Americans, black Americans, y'all Negroes are cousins. Goes all the way back to Esau and Jacob. Now I understand there's been a hate for each other for a long time. But that hate really got started with our other cousin, Ishmael.
Yep.
And to my African Americans, which you shouldn't be called African Americans in the first place. So to my black Americans, let me say that. To you black folks out here. Okay. We're gonna do a little history lesson. You know what? We're gonna take a break. I'm gonna give you the history lesson, and then I'm gonna show you how it all ties in to what we're talking about today. Fatherless children. We have a lot of fatherless children. And I'm gonna show you how our cousins, us and our cousins, has created this mayhem. Oh, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news to some of my African Americans. But African Americans, you black folk, them white people that you don't like, them your cousins. Yeah, I said it. And I ain't talking about because some slave master raped your great-great-grandmama. Nope. Y'all was related way before then. So we're going to get into that and the fatherless child and our fatherless children when we come back right here on the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. Looking to get a high school diploma or training in a high-demanding career like cybersecurity, heavy equipment operator, welding, nursing? Well, attend the Adult Education and Training Research Fair Tuesday, March 19th, starting at 10 a.m. at the Andrew and Walter Young Family YMCA as they partner with the WIOA to help obtain a new career. Must be 18 years or older, eligible to work in the U.S., unemployed or underemployed. Training is free. Just register at Eventbrite because this event you don't want to miss. Hi kids! The YMCA is hosting its annual Healthy Kids Day, Saturday, April 27th. Tell your parents to come join us for this free festival to celebrate healthy kids, healthy families, and healthy communities. It's packed with games, local community vendors, raffles, moon bounce, face painting, family Zumba, and yoga, live music, and much more. So come join us for Healthy Kids Day at the Andrew and Walter Young Family YMCA. To my current and expiring homeowners that are interested in credit repair, refinancing a home, or to get pre-approved for home buying, then come out to the Pearls of Wisdom for current and expiring homeowners, Sunday, April 28th from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Andrew and Walter Young Family YMCA. This event is free, but tickets are required. So go register at Eventbrite at Pearls for Homeowners. Two-seaters, and they say I can't rap about Black Lives Matter, only rap about how I used to move that gas better. They offered me the deal, came with 3 mil, had to dumb down the scale for that radio appeal. Women at will, all the money here, but talking about Jesus, say that ain't welcome here. I can't glorify the spirit, but I can glorify the street. False prophet through the meat, as I profit through the speech. Can't mention blood unless it's gang related. Can't talk about the cross unless it's chain affiliated. Revelation unrelated, say the truth is so hated. Everything money motivated, women disgraded. I can only say when it's sex orientated. Can't speak about the savior, but I can nay ya. Say I don't do skinny jeans, fat swag, kiss men. Last man that kissed a man, betrayed him in the end. Giving scriptures to these raps, just for me to rap. From the church to the trap, just to free yourself. Sing only Molly money choosing 2-seaters, and they say I can't rap about Black Lives Matter, only rap about how I used to move that gas better.
They say I can't rap about Jesus.
Sing only Molly money choosing 2-seaters, and they say I can't rap about Black Lives Matter, only rap about how I used to move that gas better. Now, they say I can rap about, I can run up in the house, strip you and the spouse, put you both on the couch, put duct tape on the mouth, wondering what this all about. You claiming that you future, so bring them comments out. I can't uplift my people unless we constantly getting high. While we piping, getting by, why you want me to inspire? Putting pounds in the trunk, driving across the state line. Say Virginia got mechanics, so be careful where you drive. Unless they can twerk videos, say they kissing other girls, IG pose, no clothes, no clothes.
Stop killing each other more than the police if you really want peace. Say love thy neighbor, stop with this or self-hating. Stop asking government for the blessings that God gave us. Young man, put your pants up. Lady, put some clothes on. All my black men, stand up. I'm gone.
They say I can't rap about Jesus.
Sing only Molly money, choosing two-seaters. And they say I can't rap about Black Lives Matter. Only rap about how I used to move that gas better.
They say I can't rap about Jesus.
Sing only Molly money, choosing two-seaters. And they say I can't rap about Black Lives Matter. Only rap about how I used to move that gas better. 5280. Bless baby, bless baby, bless baby, bless baby, bless baby. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes, we'll be back with more of the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show right here with Gov and Mama Quita on Ratchet but Righteous Tuesdays. Here's my man, Papers with World on My Shoulders. I'm sorry, Papers.
I'm getting it happen. I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do for everybody. You wildin', man. Like, yo, this shit is really crazy out here for me, for real. It's like the world is on my shoulders, man, and there ain't nothing more I could do.
I'm sorry, Papers. I love this Here's a cry from a fatherless child that wants to be a father.
I'm in the 4th year, the cloud behind the tabernacle, and you would hear this and swear that I was coming at you like I loaded this weapon, and now I just aim it at you. Call a nigga a bastard, and the only thing is fame I'm after. The only thing I care about is bags and holes I'm after. I sit back and rewind, I'm viewing all the chapters. I'm sick back of my mind knowing the final chapter. To my sister in the hallway, what's the final album? No sweaters or hoodies and fuck white tee, only showing papes. Now love is through the bag, B. I booked the flight and I made it there. Kashi, and why nigga, and many niggas don't like me. Sometimes I feel like if I got the weight of the world on my shoulders, the world on my shoulders. Sometimes I feel like if I had the world on my shoulders, the world on my shoulders. The nigga get older, the streets getting colder, my kids getting older. Got 4 of them niggas, so how a nigga go spoil them? And got 6 figures, and a nigga ain't ballin'. My kids ain't calling, they mama dumb sick. She's letting this happen while I'm stuck in this trap. A nigga can't talk unless it's for this rapping. They doing the most while I'm making it happen. They talking crazy, let alone that don't feed paper. I'm out here on the crime, beyond the tri-state, punching in about 5, then I'm out about 2. My Mooka Luka asking me, Theo, you gonna bust a move? I had to figure it out, it had to be soon. Had to get up in the bed and make it out the living room. Had to make me a stash, boy, yeah, I'm digging room. 40 hours on the clock, and it was overtime. Punching in on the block, 1 o'clock, overtime. I'm low slumping, I'm sweating up, but I'm still P. Bipolar or broke, nigga, I'm still me. I fed families never fed me. I put my own pain in, nobody raised me. I got game, but I ain't playing on no full court. Roll me up a bleach, not eat and smoke a Newport. The weight's heavy on my shoulder, blazing eyelids. Sometimes I feel like if I got the world on my shoulders, the world on my shoulders. Sometimes I feel like if I got the world on my shoulders, the world on my shoulders. Nigga get older, the streets getting colder, my kids getting older. Got 4 of them niggas, so how a nigga gon' spoil them? And got 6 figures, and a nigga ain't ballin'. My kids ain't calling, they mama dumb sick. She's letting this happen while I'm stuck in this trap shit. A nigga can't talk unless it's for his legs weaker from all the grinding that I did. I'm on a mission, a crash course, no funny shit. Everybody had jokes on me when I was bumming it. I did the sit in the crib, fucked up having nothing, nigga. Child support, killer soul, you did nothing, nigga. I got the vision clear as Picasso picture. It's straight to the top, yeah, or they gon' miss this nigga. I got the score on my face already, you get the picture?
Yeah, that's just to give you a little sneak preview of what's gonna come on Thursday. That was T Smooth. Yeah. But actually, no, me and Mama Queen was discussing something important behind the scenes, so I had to pow before we come back live. Sorry, y'all not privy to all comfort, but it's cool though. Welcome back to the Way Baking Coffee Morning Show. We're here, fatherless children. And before I went to break, I said I was gonna give a little brief little ancestry history. Okay, everybody wants to go to ancestry.com, and you know they actually made the news last night. You know they were right. People are worried about people stealing their DNA, which I can understand. You know, because I can put you at a murder scene, and you know what I'm saying. So I get it. You know, but at the same time, who won't really steal your DNA? I don't know.
Like they gotta be going through a whole lot to even find your DNA.
Okay.
I mean, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot.
That's too much. That's too much. It's just too much. Like, you want protection on your DNA. Like, what am I gonna do besides putting you at a crime scene
With your DNA.
What am I gonna do with your DNA? Am I gonna build another you? Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. But anyway, let me help y'all out with y'all ancestry real quick. Now, no black people feel that y'all the first folks on the planet and all that other good stuff. Blah, blah, blah. So let's say if that's true. Then there was a flood that killed all y'all. It was only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was only 8 of y'all left. One of you was an albino. Or did we forget that part of the story? What did you miss? Oh, well, welcome back, Big Juice. We just came back from break, and I said before I get into the fatherless child, I wanted to give a quick ancestry rundown because there's something that just popped up in the news that said school slavery cell has parents in an outrage. Now, listen. White Americans, Black Americans, whoever American you are, okay? Whatever American you are, listen. I don't care the color of your skin. Somehow, some way, we are all related. So let's go back. So now, they said that the only thing they said was the oldest remains that they found was in Africa, correct? They said the oldest that they had found, which means they haven't found anything older. So the oldest remains that they found was in Africa. Oh, okay. Where in Africa?
Where?
Where? Exactly where in Africa were the oldest remains found? Where? Oh, I wish all my professors was on today.
Excuse me.
Where? That's number one. Number two, it has been proven that Saudi Arabia, no, not Saudi Arabia, this is Iraq. It's been proven that Iraq is the location of the Garden of Eden. So if Iraq is the location of the Garden of Eden, if the last war is going to take place right there where Iraq, Jordan, and Israel take place, how did y'all find the oldest remains in Africa?
In Africa.
Because before the Kuwait War with Daddy Bush, Israel, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Saudi, these were considered northern African countries. They didn't get coined the Middle East until Dan Rather came on the news and said, in the Middle East, we're going to war. And they have been called the Middle East since the Kuwait War. Prior to that, they were Northern Africa. Because think about it. You can go from Jerusalem, you can go from Israel right into Egypt. You don't need no boat. You don't need no plane. It's just like going from Georgia to Alabama. It's a little narrow part that connects Israel to Egypt. Then when you come up Israel, then you come across, then you got Jordan. Then from Jordan connects, what's that? Iran, and then Iraq, and then Kuwait. I ain't losing my mind. Let me see something. I ain't going crazy. Now, let me see something. Can you see that, Mama Quita?
It's very, 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 very small.
Very small. Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Let me.
You see what Egypt?
It's a glare. It's a glare.
Well, right here is Egypt. You come up into Egypt,
Okay.
that's Israel. Then you got Jordan, Iran. All of that used to be Northern Africa. Let me see if I can slide it over. Because see, then you got Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Iran is right here. Now, Iraq's supposed to be where what they call that, the Garden of Eden. Now, Jesus walked all through here: Israel, Jordan, Syria, Damascus. And all the kings that's gonna come, they waiting on a river to dry up, right? Is it the Euphrates River? They waiting to dry up, right? Okay. Where's the Euphrates? Anybody know where the Euphrates River is?
I can see it in my head, but I can't say it out loud. Don't give me the line.
Don't get you the line.
I can see it in my head. I can see the map in my head, I can see the Euphrates. I can see the Tigris.
Okay.
I can see the ocean.
Hmm. Euphrates River. Okay. So they waiting on the river to dry up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the Euphrates River is in Syria.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who's to the east? Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, China, Russia, North Korea. So, now, your quick ancestry so we can get into the fatherless children. Now, a news story just came out. Apparently, they got this white lady standing there talking about the school is selling slavery. I guess slavery paraphernalia. School slavery sale has parents in the uproar. Listen. Before we went to break, I told you a couple of things. Number one, they can't crash the system. So since they can't crash the system, what's the next best thing we can do? We can keep putting out hate on both sides.
Keep division.
So if we keep putting out hate on both sides, then eventually we can cause a race war on America. Because see, America ain't on board with the rest of the world. America is stopping the plan from going through. So, there was a time where they say that everybody come from black folks, right? Okay. So now my question becomes, they said that the oldest remains are were found in Africa. I need somebody to tell me where they were found in Africa. Because if it's not between Ethiopia, Sudan, and Egypt, I might not believe the tale no more. So now, there was a time in the world where God was mad, so he flooded the whole place. There was only about 7 black folks and 1 albino left. Right? Because Noah was an albino. Or did somebody miss that part of the scripture when his daddy was scared? He said, he looks like one of the angels. He doesn't look like us. Okay, so now the albino's on the scene. Okay, so now Jacob had 3 sons. Boom, boom, boom. We know about them. One went out into Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia. Then the other one went on the other side. One birthed Israel, and then everybody else got birthed. Now, while Israel was being birthed through Abraham, out of Abraham had 2 sons. One named Jacob. That was the nice one, right? And what was the name of the one that came from Hagar, the maid? Ishmael. Now, usually when you hear the word Ishmael, where do that come from? Oh, that's somewhere over here in Iraq, Syria, Jordan. Because once she sent to Syria, where's the biggest Muslim population? Where's all the destruction and havoc being done right now? Syria. Okay. So now, Our cousin is out here in Syria. He mad. Who kicks off the first world slave trade?
Who kicks off? Come on, keep teaching.
Okay. Now, the first slaves were guys chosen in Egypt. But they wasn't being traded. They were just slaves. They wasn't put on the auction block. They wasn't sold from one side to the next, from one king to the next. They was there to service Pharaoh and Pharaoh only. Right? And there was only a specific group that he had. He didn't have the entire world. It was just a specific group of people. And he knew who they were. Okay. So moving along. Your cousin Ishmael, after you get saved, blah, 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 blah. Ishmael rises up. They call it Syria. In the Bible, it's called Assyria. They just put an A in front of it. Boom, boom, boom. And here we go. Your first slave trade. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Now, we had another cousin somewhere down the line. He came out pale. Okay? There was a problem because some things he felt was stolen from him, some birthrights he felt that was taken, and he felt some kind of way about that.
He did.
And that was Jacob's son. Okay? So now he felt some kind of way, and then he went off because he wanted to kill his brother. So now, your cousin and your brother has come together to kill you, period. And y'all have passed this on from hundreds of generations, and now here we are in 2019. We still related to each other. We still sit down in the same church, and we still try to pray to the same Jesus, but we at war with each other. And you at war with each other because you don't understand your ancestry DNA. You're fighting against your own flesh and blood. That's why the scriptures say, we fight not against flesh and blood, but against spirits, against evil spirits and principalities in high places. So why? That's why I say love your neighbor as you love yourself. How can you hate your brother who you see every day? But love God who you've never seen. That's why Jesus said, go on out to the Gentiles. Go on and get your cousins, the ones that y'all don't want to talk to, the Greeks and the Romans and the Turkish and the white ones and the pagans, the ones who are overly sexed and the ones who have brought forth some things that we still participate in because everybody went down with the plan. And some folks only played with the plan so they can get in. So now we're here. So, you fast forward time, but then you forget about the curse. Black America. Did you ever sit down and ask yourself, Black America, why, out of all the people in the world, how did you just so happen to be handpicked? Listen, I'm just asking a question. that I don't think nobody in history has ever asked. The only thing people have said was, if God's supposed to be God and all-knowing, then why would he let slavery happen? But nobody asked the question of, how did you get caught up in that? Now, all the shit that I hear black folks talk in America, oh, if they would have ran up on me, if I was born during Dr. King time, I would have, you wouldn't have just ran up in my hut talking about you gonna take my woman and if we that strong and if we that powerful and we that muscular, how we get on the boat? How you get on the boat?
You teaching today, come on.
How you get on the boat? I just want to know. I just want to know how you get on the boat. How you get on the boat? I just want to know. Because there was some different names at the time in Africa. See, I'm trying to find the map that Christopher Columbus would have been looking at when he sailed the great seas. Cause see, on that map, where they claim they took people from, right there, it says the land of Benjamin, the land of Judah. It don't say Togo, Nigeria, Ghana, the Ivory Coast. It don't say none of that. Right above the land of Benjamin, where they call Ghana, that was the land of Levi. That's where all our priests were. The Levites were the priests. Man, you can stop me if I'm wrong. I'm saying. Then Benjamin and Judah was together. When you separate, because 10 was at the north, 2 was at the bottom. And Dan doesn't make it at the end because they just went completely left field. They don't even, God is only coming back to get 11 tribes because Dan didn't make it. The crazy part is 10 tribes, you know exactly where they are. They're in the Mediterranean Sea. Some of them are still on the continent of Africa. But Judah, which consists of Benjamin, and they scattered across all 4 corners of the world. Now, with that being said, how did you get scattered across all the world? Well, your cousin Ishmael came and picked you up way before you got on any slave ship. Way before you got on any slave ship. Did you ever ask yourself, Black America, how did you get here? Who woke up one morning and thought that it was a great idea to pick you up? You know
Why you
what?
gotta put it like that?
No, I'm just I just want to be honest. Who thought it was a great idea to wake up in the morning and say, you know what? We're gonna go over here and we're just gonna snatch up these people over here. We're gonna enslave them. And who wakes up at that moment? And one Christopher Columbus, one he from Spain. So, don't Spain sit right on top of Africa? Spain, you can go to, there's a part in Spain that you can go to and you can probably look right across the water, right into what they call Morocco. That's how close they are. So, who woke up one morning and went to the coast and said, hey, oh, goddamn, look. Go get us some slaves. Who would think of some shit like that? Especially since the people who were trying to get the hell out of Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Europe, they was already slaves. How you think white people got to Australia? They were slaves to the European kings. And they was prisoners. Because Australia was an all black continent. Until the prisoners got there.
See, you teaching me stuff I didn't know.
Australia was an all black continent by itself. One number of Negroes. That's it. They had too many white slaves and they had too many white prisoners. So what did they do? They exiled their ass to Australia. And then now you got Crocodile Dundee. But African Americans, I want to know, how did you get here? Did you ever wonder why you? Because guess what? Christopher Columbus wasn't even worrying about you. He was trying to go find some new land. And if you read the history books from America, Mexico, the Caribbean, and South America, that's the only place you find Christopher Columbus. And it's funny to me that if you was taken from a place, it would be somewhere in their history. But why do in Africa's history, there's no recollection of a slave trade, Christopher Columbus?
Now that I know.
Come on now, why you? They done changed the names of where they got you from. Benin is the only closest thing to the original name that's still back in Africa. And they lost their power in 1810. They did a movie about it. I watched it. It's on Netflix.
What's it called?
1810.
I knew that.
It's the War 1810, the Takeover 1810, or something like that. But it's about Benin. And the boy, the guy is on trial because he's from that tribe and he went and stole back their tribal artifacts out of the museum. And they put him on trial. And then he told this whole story of how England came in. And because he didn't want to do business with England, they killed him.
Okay.
because they wanted the rubber trees. One on Nigeria, Niger, Niger, that's in Africa right now, that was considered the land of the Negro. Ghana, Togo, that was considered the Ghana, Togo, Benjamin, Nigeria was considered the land of Benjamin and Judah. Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, all that was considered the land of Levi.
Gotcha.
Remember, we still ran off and we were still hard-headed. God said when he comes back, he has to get his favorite from all over the world. We've been scattered. We ain't even where he left us. But how did these one group of people get scattered though? How did they get scattered?
He just said they were scattered. He didn't say how.
Right. He just said they were scattered. But now, let's use good old God-given. Logically, look at this. When you came out of Egypt, that was with Moses, right? Moses was pre-flood or post-flood?
Excuse me.
Post, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means the flood had already happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how the flood happened, and then you still end up in Egypt as slaves? Then you get taken out of Egypt, then you become slaves again. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why is this happening to you?
Hard head.
Why? Okay, now you said the 10 is up here in these little islands right here. Oh, that y'all call Sicily and all up here up under Italy and Piedmont and all these little right here near the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea. That's where Cyprus, because they specifically said Cyprus in the Bible. This is where one of the 10 tribes are. The top 10. But how you get there? Your cousin Ishmael came and got you. Put you in the slave trade. Jacob and Benjamin, they took off running.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they run to though? They went south. When you go south in Israel, from Jerusalem, there's only a couple places you can go. Either you're coming into Egypt, either you're going into the Red Sea, or you're going into Saudi Arabia. Or you're going into Jordan. And Jordan is connected to Saudi Arabia. So where are you going? Where did they go? Because if you fast forward, God said you was going to have this particular curse. He never said when.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jesus went ahead in Egypt. They never said they got on the boat to go. So that lets you know how close they are. That should let you know that they connected. then there was still havoc going on after Jesus died. But Jesus told him, don't forget the curse. Didn't Jesus remind them of the curse? So now, why just you? What make you so special that somebody had to put you in bond and chain? Now here you are, 2019. No father in the house. Kind of remind me of a scripture that says, you'll have children. Oh, you'll build a house, but you won't be in it. Oh, you'll work a vineyard, but you won't
enjoy it.
You won't enjoy the fruit of your labor. Your children will be murdered in the middle of the street. People will come to the land that you're going to, and they will rise above you. Don't that sound like somebody? Oh, you gonna have a wife, but you can't lay with another man. It's gonna lay with your wife in front of you. He gonna sell your wife and your children from you. He's gonna manipulate your wife and your children. You will go hungry, you will be beaten, you will be murdered, you will be humiliated. Your children will grow up to hate each other and they will kill each other in the street. Listen. Don't that sound like somebody you know? They're bringing back the dinosaurs to wipe out our race. Come on, God, we're going to make... They ain't gonna bring back the dinosaurs, Big Juice. They trying to get y'all... Have you noticed they trying to get y'all prepared with these robots?
Aliens too.
And the aliens have been big. Wait, Bacon Coffee, more on the show. Oh, I'm great, but I'm at work right now. I can't really recall sending out anything. Is it possible that you can call me back around the 1:30 hour? What part can you call me back at the 1:30? Hey, hello? Yeah.
She's going, ain't she?
See, that's because you didn't listen. So, welcome back to the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. Could you call me back after 1:30? Oh, sure, I'm sorry you at work. Is there a great time to call you back? Whatever happened to those? They don't do that no more? They just go into the script.
Start going into it. Right.
Get your hung up. See what happened when you don't listen? Oh, that's how y'all got to America. See how she didn't listen? She got hung up on. You know how black people got to America on the back of slave ships? Because she didn't listen. You know why your children dying in the street? Because your great grandparents were hard-headed. God damn it, you hard-headed too. That's why we're the poster child for everything. Because damn it, we hard-headed. Jesus came. And when you think about it, and if you read the scripture, the curse that would have been placed in Deuteronomy 28, if you really, I've been trying to find it. It never happened in the scripture. It was told it was gonna happen. Oh, if you keep disobeying me, this is what's gonna happen to you. But from the time that this was said up until Jesus, that didn't happen. They weren't dying out in the street. They weren't making houses. They weren't, you see what I'm saying? Everything on this curse list didn't take place. Nowhere in the scripture. Not even in the book of Enoch. Not even in the book of Jasher. Nowhere. Not even in the Apocrypha. And actually, the Apocrypha pretty much went into more detail of the curses. I'm talking about specific detail. Like your children killing each other in the street. Your women not wanting you no more. Women not wanting men. Women raising children by themselves. This whole list. Now, from the time this list was said until the time Jesus died, none of that happened. Nowhere in the scripture did that happen. So now Jesus died. But Jesus was killed by the same people who God said this was going to happen to. Or did I miss that? The same people God said that he was going to punish were the same ones that put Jesus on the cross. The same ones who rejected Paul. The same ones who rejected Peter. The same ones who beheaded John. Killed Peter and Paul. And Paul was walking around at the rise of Rome. I need for y'all to pay attention to him. Then you mentioned the rise of Rome. The fall of it, and then the rebuild of it with the steel and the clay.
Yeah.
By that time, Negroes are supposed to have been in slavery, right? Now I want you to think about this. The year 1810. In the year 1810, Benin, South Africa, and Haiti were all at war fighting the same enemy. In 3 different countries. Haiti, South Africa, and Benin. At the same time. The only one to win was Haiti. But do you see the hell that they paying? But what's also related to the Caribbean? When you think of anything about the Caribbean, what do you think of? Besides the food, the fun, and the carnival. We still practicing what we were told not to practice.
The idolatry?
Just in a different form. Because we have our own way of idolatry here in America.
We do. We definitely do.
And if you notice, black people in America set the trend worldwide. But we're the greatest fatherless people worldwide. And why are we fatherless? Everything that's taking place right now, children, women, men, relationships, everything coincides of being a fatherless child.
You're right.
From both sides. But guess what? Black America as a whole, we are fatherless. And I ain't talking about no flesh and blood father. We've been fatherless since Deuteronomy 28.
Okay.
And it's almost like you put your child in the corner. He on punishment. And no matter what you try to do to help him, he's staying on punishment. So then what you do, you come back, it's Jesus. Then he kill you. They said the Savior would come and die for our sins. They didn't say how he was going to die.
Right?
Then you kill him. Here we are. We are fatherless children because we're stiff-necked, hard-headed, and we don't want to turn back to the Father. He said he got to come get Jacob. We scattered all over the world. But how many of Jacob ain't gonna make it? How many of Jacob ain't gonna make it? See, we can blame daddy not being home. We can blame the government for tricking our women on the welfare system. We can blame the influx of the the LGBTQRSPWXYZ. Listen, because they're going to have all the alphabets soon. So, listen. We don't really have a father. Because even when we go seeking daddy, we got to pay to hear him. Nigga want a fee for a healing. The one that's in the church, scared to come out into the neighborhood. When we go seek Daddy, when we go looking for that true father figure, it comes with stipulations. Jump, put your hands up, come on down and let us get you here. Hey, when I finish praying, just go to my right, your left. We're gonna go back and have some more prayer with you. And then when you're hurt and you need, and then you go back to where your father's supposed to be, and then it's like, hey, I lost my job and I just need a little help to get some food. Oh, well, let me pull up your tithing real quick. What? Oh yeah, I gotta look and see how much you done gave for the year before I can just but the Bible said you're supposed to take other tithes and put them up for those that are in need. And nowhere did it say go down and check and see how much I gave before you give to somebody that's in need. I don't remember that part. But I do remember you being in here last Sunday with this other preacher, and y'all said, throw the money at the feet of the priest, and y'all was kicking it around, and oh, God bless the dollar. Oh, God bless the money. Y'all was doing the Jane Brown, and oh, yes, sir. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And then y'all collected all the money. But then up under that, it said throw the money at the foot of the priest so it can be blessed, so it can be collected, blessed, and evenly distributed amongst the assembly or congregation, whichever, or church, whichever translation you're reading. So, dude, I was in church that Sunday. I dropped a couple dollars on the floor. You blessed it. Where's my cut of that pie? Oh, y'all scared? Y'all, hey, I'll run up on Creflo and ask him where the money at. I ain't scared of the two Negroes he got standing with him. Because the two Negroes I'm coming with are locked, loaded, and ready. Last time I checked, Jesus walked up in the church and started kicking Negroes out. What Negroes do you got in your inner church that need to be kicked out? He said the Father's not in here. Y'all niggas in here selling merchandise and all kind of stuff up in my... And this is a prayer house. This ain't no place for you to be out here making no money. Now the Father comes with a price tag. So now you can't afford to get the Father. So you remain fatherless. Oh, y'all thought I was just talking about black folks in the street and young children and baby mama drama. No. It's bigger than that. And what's crazy is our cousins, who we don't like, for whatever reason, your cousins, y'all call them Caucasians, but them your cousins. By bloodline, them your cousins. They came from somewhere. White people just didn't miraculously appear out of the sky. And I understand some folks teach that. I know a lot of Muslims teach that they was made in a laboratory. That shit ain't true. It's your brother Esau. Because your daddy bloodline was Jacob. He had a twin. Them niggas had been fighting since before they was even born. Then they say that they was born in the womb. Y'all didn't like each other before y'all even got here. Y'all had problems before you got here. Isaac didn't know, but he was told. But he didn't think it was like that, though. So here y'all are, damn near 20 generations later, still with the foolishness. And what's crazy is y'all gonna let these, good morning, Miss Graham, y'all gonna let these folks trick y'all off the street with this race riot. Because you, black folk, are fatherless children. You ain't got the Heavenly Father nowhere. I ain't talking about your daddy. I ain't talking about the one that laid down with your mama and, you know, procreated you. Like I said, if you go back and you really think about it, y'all scattered all over the place. And well, they claim they came and got you for the slave trade. Who had you in bondage to even make you a slave? Because Africa say, because Nigeria, Togo, Ghana, all these folks say they ain't really got no true, real recollection that y'all got sold. Probably because it wasn't called Nigeria, Togo, Ghana, and Sierra Leone and all that other good stuff. Because guess what? The United States years ago was sending Indians and black folks back to Sierra Leone because they had a trade treaty with Sierra Leone in the early 1800s. But Christopher Columbus sailed the seas damn near 400 years before that. It's some gaps in y'all history. Y'all just listen to, right, y'all listen to names and y'all listen to what happened, but y'all ain't pay attention to no dates. Rome was rising, Babylon was rising when Paul and Peter was preaching. Y'all better get your dates right. They never put a time stamp on when the curse was going to happen. But if you read the scripture, yeah, they were put back in slavery, but it wasn't 400 years, it was 420. And they was still where they were. They wasn't taken somewhere by no ship. Because that was specific. That was specific. I don't know how much more specific you can get than that. My white boy. Probably Friday. I'm just going to see my dude tomorrow, my dude downtown. Tomorrow morning? Yeah. So there was no timeline. And then if you keep reading and looking, it never happened. You fall over, Mark, Luke, John. I ain't see it. That's long Peter, John. I don't see it, John. I don't see none of that. So when did it kick off? They said, how long? 7 generations? How long we been here? How long we been here? They clocked.
How you know it's 7 generations?
Think about it. They said a generation is 70 years.
Okay.
How long y'all been here?
Right.
How long? just saying. They about to do the celebration kickoff next week.
400. That's why I put up my 400.
You break that down into generations. But I want you to think about this, though. It said generations is 70 years. But we have put a 15-year gap on generations. No. Grandma 45, the mama 30, and the baby 15. Huh? What? Oh, up in the cab. So think about it. Now generations are almost a 15-year gap. We have cut the generation. Because if it was done, think about it. I probably wouldn't have had no first child till I'm about 35. That would have put my mama near 65, 70. See how that works?
Right.
And then by the time my child would have had a child, I'd have been almost 70. Oh, okay. Because remember, a long time ago, they weren't having children until it's earlier than 40. You see what I'm saying? Oh, okay. So how did y'all get here on these shores? Because a daddy would have protected you. A father ain't gonna just let somebody come in the house and snatch up their children.
Take your child. That's right.
Y'all, walk with me. Where was he? Well, he kept some of y'all alive. Yeah, and what's crazy is when you look at us, what have we learned?
Nothing.
Hey man, Dr. King died for us to vote. Man, fuck that. I ain't that vote. That vote shit don't mean nothing. These niggas ain't gonna count my vote. Hey man, you know Rosa Parks got her behind beat for you to sit in front of the bus. Man, look here, nigga, we going to the back, nigga. We ain't sitting up here with all these old folk. Them, that's your wisdom. That's your wisdom. Oh no, I don't want to do. Oh, okay. I got you. But I tell y'all what though, I just want y'all to marinate on that. And we gonna take a quick break, and then Mama Quita gonna come back, and she gonna shut y'all out. Still make sure y'all get y'all full 2 hours. I don't want nobody to think I robbed them. So we'll be back right after this with more of the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. I gotta use the body.
Tell me something I need to know. And take my breath and never let it go. If you just let me invade your space, I'll take this pleasure and take it with the pain. And if in the moment I bite my lips, baby, in the moment you know this is something bigger than us. Give me reason to believe it. And if I want to keep you, I gotta to love you harder. I gotta love you harder. And if I really need you, I gotta to love you harder. Love you harder. Love and take this pleasure and take it with the pain. And if in the moment you bite your lip, when I get you moaning, you know it's real. Can you feel the pressure between your hips? I'll make you feel like the first time. And if I want to keep you, got to love you harder. I gotta love you harder. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love you harder. Love you, love you, love you, So what do I do if I can't figure it out? I gotta try again. Oh, so what do I do if I can't figure it out? Said I'ma leave again. Said I got to love you, babe. Said I gotta love you, babe. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love you harder. And if I want to keep you, I got to love you harder. I gotta love you harder. And if I really need you, I got to love you harder. Love you harder.
ODLTL.
Oh, I look really good.
Here's our niece, Mike Dyson, with Don't Cry. We'll be back with more of the Way Back and Call on the show. And Mama Quitty Close right after this.
I'm tired of the back and forth games we play. Was enough, give it up. 'Cause you and I both know that I wanted you, and you wanted me. Gonna tell you something. Cry, you'll be alright. Wipe your eyes. Don't cry. And I know it's hard to think that you gave your heart away to us. You didn't do the shit. How can someone make you feel so good, but also make the pain hurt so bad? I lost my heart, my soul, and my mind. The way you said so much. All the things you said, well, you seem to forget there's no going back to. Finally, I put you in my past. Better say it's cry. Alright. Wipe your eyes. Don't cry. right, Google Play. All right.
That's what I keep
Man, welcome
hearing.
back to the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. Where are my headphones? So, we're back. Mama Quita,
Yeah.
how you feeling, Mama Quita?
I feel educated today. Educated.
Educated.
I learned a lot today. Yeah, because I'm not a history person, and I know that I know some of this stuff, but not to the depths that you went into it today. But I'm sorry, y'all. But it makes sense. And it makes, I've been, well, you don't know because I've not said it, but I've gone back and I've added all the lost books of the Bible for me to go back and read and get a better understanding of the canonical Bible that they've given us. But you can't really understand that without getting those lost books. And I didn't understand that until I started reading them and getting a better understanding. So a lot of what you said, I'm coming across in those books. So it just made sense a lot. I feel more educated. Long story short, I feel more educated.
More educated. Because history is important.
It is.
You have to know history. If you notice, one thing that the scriptures concentrate on more than anything is bloodline.
It does.
That's your history. You know, you came from this, that, this one, that one, that one, this one. Oh, them two got together to make that one. And she come from them two, and he come from them two, and they come from, because that means that we're somehow all intertwined and connected. So when you looking at it from that standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I mean? So if you know your history, then it's easy to know. Oh, I ain't got no play. So if you know history, then it's easy to know how things actually are. And it's something that my dad told me. He said, son, when you're in school, and then he said, let's take Hitler, for example. And he said, if the teacher said, go read up on Hitler, go read all sides of Hitler. Go read the people that didn't like him. Go read from the people that did like him. Go read from the people that straddled the fence with him. Go read everything about Hitler. Don't just look at it from one side. Because my dad used to always say there's three sides to a story. Your side, their side, and the truth. And if you dig deeper on both sides, eventually you'll come to the truth. So, I think with us, because how the truth has been given to us, it was force fed from the time we got here. Because think about this now. Out of all the religion, why was the Bible force fed on the slave? Said he was going to take your history and turn it against you. He's going to use your own and turn it against you. They're going to speak tongue you don't know, call God a name you never heard before. Hey man, listen. this was the only religion you was force-fed?
The only one.
So let me ask this question. Where the hell they get it from? Where they get it from? Who gave it to them? See, y'all don't like asking the right question. Where they get it from? Who gave them the Bible? Because before they was established, Rome was in charge. And everybody know the Romans were pagan.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them believed.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them believed. The Sumerians believed. The Italians started to believe. The Spaniards started to believe. Everybody started to believe, but the ones who were supposed to, the chosen, then you had to get it forced on you. Now you really don't like it. Then you was made to go as a child. Now you definitely don't like it. Oh, it's a white man thing. Oh, okay. I love y'all, man. We're a fatherless generation. And it's gonna get worse. Mama Quita done told y'all this a long time ago.
Gonna get worse before it gets better.
I think it's gonna be over by then. I ain't about to sell you no pipe dream. Well, Mama Quita, you're right. You're right. It's gonna be better for those who believe and have faith.
He tells you if you're a believer, you have nothing to worry about.
It's you other Negroes who got some problems.
Can't help you with those.
So what we gonna be on Thursday, Mama Queen?
Thursday, I was thinking on, some of y'all gonna be mad at me, but Thursday, relationships, we're gonna deal with expectations. I'm gonna put it like that. It's gonna be dealing with expectations and follow through. So for some of y'all who ain't, your words and your actions are going separate ways, y'all are not gonna like me.
Some of y'all are just bipolar and don't know it.
I believe that. I believe that. I truly believe it.
I think some people just bipolar and don't know it.
I believe it. And they don't understand what it means to be inconsistent with what your words say. Because you really believe what you say, but you don't really, your actions so different. So expectations and consistency. Expectations and action.
But there y'all have it, man. So that's what we gonna be on Thursday. Mama Queen the Love Series. Y'all make sure y'all come back. If you didn't watch it, make sure you share this, send this to somebody, because I gave y'all a nice and what they call it, ancestry DNA rundown, and I showed you how by us being, let me say this, by us being the fatherless generation, it makes us the easiest to target. It makes us the easiest to persuade, the easier, because fathers don't teach emotion. Mothers do. And if there's no father, then all we are is a big ball of emotions. And this is no disrespect to women. It's no disrespect to women. This is just the state that we are in as a people, because men and women are emotionally controlled by foolishness. Some of their lies, some of it happened 20 years ago, but you're still emotionally riled. And it kills the logic, because the man brings by strength, rebounding, moving forward. Okay, this is the problem. Let's come up with the solution and let's execute and let's keep it moving. Because we ain't going to be on this BS all day.
Real simple.
That's how men are. It's very simple. And then if you have a man that truly has the father, not a father, but the heavenly father, then that's a dangerous man. Well protected and highly favored makes him very dangerous. Ask Jacob. Ask Job. Ask Noah. Ask King David. Ask Abraham. Ask Jesus. Ask John, who they beheaded. So that's our time, ladies and gentlemen. I thank y'all for tuning in and rocking out with us here on the Wake Bacon Coffee Morning Show. Listen, we don't have to be a fatherless generation. And this generational curse that y'all claim we have, I know where it come from. I know how we got it. And I know how to break it. But we're going to talk about that on Monday. On That's Crazy Monday. But tomorrow, y'all make sure y'all come back here on the Love Series with Mama Quita. Because guess what? Your actions and your words don't equal. That shit like 2 + 2 = 8. When we all know 2 + 2 and 2 × 2 gives you 4.
And then you got the nerve to really try to convince somebody that it really does equal 8. And for some of us, we actually fall for the okie doke.
So you got 2 fingers, two, right? And you got 2 hands with 2 arms. So 2 and 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. 2 hands, 2 fingers, 2 arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, look at that.
Is that what that is? I missed that. I'm sorry. Totally missed it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I missed it.
You missed it? Okay. Mm-hmm. I tried. So y'all come back tomorrow. We're going to see how miserably I failed this math quiz tomorrow. 2 and 2 giving you 8. You're supposed to give you 4. Whether you added or multiplied them here. So we'll be back tomorrow, man. Y'all sleep tight. May God be with you. Remember, faith without works is dead. And works without faith is dead. And faith in the Father. Not having faith in the Son, you can't have faith in the Father. Can't have one without the other. So, love God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Stay out of trouble. We ain't got no bail money. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow on the Way Back in Coffee Morning Show. We out.
It's time to get up and get ready. Yeah. For the hottest morning show in the ATL. It's the Wake, Bake, and Coffee Morning Show. Live with Georgia First Black Governor. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you the most interactive radio show on Facebook Live. We bring in the hottest news, the illest